I'm glad you're so optimistic, Brian. You know what you should have played on your organ there? Instead of your normal boppy, bippy, tipsy theme, you should have played Funeral March of a Marionette. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not. No. Oh.
Because that's more the way with you and I both feel. Because as we were just commiserating after this, and folks, the show is going to be done in a couple pieces because they went crazy this weekend, the big companies, the big titans, the big two, and they just decided to just show everything in the world. And we didn't watch all of it. And we'll talk about that here in a second why we didn't. And if you don't like it, but we I watched, I didn't want to, and I think I've already said this, but it won't be till later in the program. I didn't want to go at a Saturday night's main event, which I knew one way or the other was only going to be 2 hours with a bad attitude on life. And there was no way that I was going to watch however many hours of AEW, we'll get to that, without the ability to fast forward through something or my brain would be numb. And so I started early Sunday morning and watched the Saturday night's main event. And then we recorded about that to get that in the editing and YouTube pipeline and all that stuff. While that I then watched another 60, 70 fucking hours of wrestling. And so now this is early the following day so that we can finish this up and get this all out to everybody, because I swear to God, I'm not sure that all the shows have ended yet. Are you? Is everything over?
Right now, I think everything's over. I did watch Women's Evolution 2, I guess, technically, last night from Atlanta for a packed house. A packed heart of women.
I was still finishing up Texas while you were watching the women.
Yeah, you were surprised. I guess we'll say this right now. You were surprised when I told you that, like, when Saturday night's main event started, AEW still hadn't even gone to the Moxley match.
And, you know, I don't know how they're doing it these days. But we used to, we in the business, when I did pay-per-views with, obviously, WCW was the early years of pay-per-view, but with the WWF, later to become E, you had a set window for your pay-per-view because of the satellite time. And Vince used to bitch because you paid for every hour of the satellite time. So that's why in those days, WrestleMania would be 4 hours if another one was 3. You see what I'm saying? But only the big ones ever went over the hour window. They were the under 2, under 3, under 4, whatever, you see. And he would go crazy. No, we haven't got it. But also the pay-per-view channel schedules. They are scheduled 24 hours a day with programming. How do these people just goddamn say, I'm just going to go into the other guy's show to fuck with him, even if it does make my show run 6 hours and 15 minutes or whatever? But we'll get to the mechanics of that. But, you know, here's the thing. I just got to say this at the top of the program. Both companies, they're going to counter program themselves into limbo. If they don't, with the WWE, it was just about blowing up everything all weekend, right? And they had the building rented. Why the fuck not? And we'll fuck with the fucking billionaire boy child and his show in Texas. But how do the WWE fans in 2 days have time to watch that much programming of any kind? That's a question.
I don't have an answer for you. I didn't watch the Great American Bash. I didn't really have any interest in watching it. I watched the Female Evolution. I watched the Saturday night's main event after the fact, although I saw the second half of the show live. and I watched AEW from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on. It was a long
But I mean,
day.
that's the thing, even for a WWE fan that wasn't even going to watch AEW anyway. You got 2 hours on NBC. You've got the 3 hours of NXT. You have 3 hours of the pay-per-view of the female roster, the women's evolution. And then there's people going on, oh, you didn't watch that. Well, no shit.
You didn't watch
Supercard. I have to go. I got to go to sleep. Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. We didn't think, we're just thinking about.
You didn't think about Friday.
Fucking Tony's goddamn deal. Friday, he did Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor for probably, who knows, 4 or 5 hours, where they're showing slides of it on the wall of a barn in Wartburg. And then the hours upon hours. And then people get mad if we don't watch fucking something. Jesus Christ, like I said, I'm an old man. I need sleep. But what they're going to do, the WWE, and we'll see this as we talk about the two programs, they've got the one-on-one matchups you want to see with the recognized stars, with the logical booking, with the guys that can work and they're not stuntmen at the top of the card. And you barely see any of it. They give you all that shit. You sit down to see it. They get 2 minutes to break. Come back. Here we go. And you got to watch a lot of their program to get you just a little bit of the wrestling. And they're going to make it with these shows everywhere. They were Raw and SmackDown and NXT and the pay-per-view of this and the special card of that. That you can just miss any of this shit because goddamn. Unless they're going to let you subscribe to a highlight reel of everything somehow for an extra monthly fee where you can watch all the good shit from the week in an hour and a half. You know, it's like, But then AEW, what else is AEW going to do, Brian? We've had blood drinking. We've had a flamethrower. We've had spikes in the back. No move hurts anybody. No amount of blood is too much. They're doing hospitalization angles over on the side of the ring while the fucking main event match is still going on, and it never ends. And you can't get away from the goddamn wrestling, alleged wrestling. It's just chaos and carnage and mayhem and goofy fucking children flipping about, as Adrian Street would say. And so how do they follow any of this shit? They got the opposite problem. They give us so much shit, I don't care if I ever see any more of that shit ever again. What the fuck is the matter with all these people?
Again, there's a lot of questions you're asking that I don't have a direct answer for, but there was a lot of wrestling.
Have I said anything you disagree with?
There's a lot of wrestling. There was a lot of wrestling over the past few days. On top of editing and recording, it was just a lot of wrestling. Some good.
Well, and I don't.
That was special cat.
I don't mean to be bad, but right. Also, we were speaking just before we went on the air here for the people. Like you say, you are our friends. You are my cult, or we would be doing that. That we are just both of us lethargic and colic in our fucking outlook here today. And I think, you've heard of long COVID. I think I got long AEW. Energy level low, just a lack of ability to want to continue living. But we're going to try, folks, today. Right. Here. I got good news for you, just real quick before we get into all the bullshit.
You're getting out of showbiz.
No, apparently I've never been in showbiz. If this is showbiz,